Say that again.
Big whopping visors.
Big whopping visors. That's what just saved my face from being blinded by the sun in this video. We're a little frustrated right now. Just tried to go through the car wash at the holiday station. We were told it was big enough. Turns out our big van
is too big.
It's too big.
Too big.
We can't lean that far. Come here.
No, I don't want to.
Yes, I want you to.
I don't like videos. They scare me.
Well then, lean back, I guess. Anyhow, so after sitting in line at the car wash for roughly, what, half an hour?
About that.
Yep. We've now pulled out of line after getting right up to it because the clearance bar says 90 inches. Okay, do the math on that one. You get up there and there's a sign next to the car wash bay that says maximum 7 foot. 7 foot is not 90 inches. There's a difference there. And we've decided it was not worth the risk to our van to go through there. So now we're going to go to another car wash and do it by hand. And at that point, maybe I'll go ahead and give you guys a tour of the entire van. And so I guess we'll see you in just a second.
Bye-bye now.
Okay, so we drove through town, stopped at a couple places, checked them out, and they were all too much of a risk for Big Red. So we've come to a self-serve car wash, and my husband's right outside of the van, making that squeaking noise. Getting everything prepped, and we'll see how clean it can get. I guess I should have taken a picture of how dirty it was before, but it was kind of embarrassing. So we'll get this all spiffed up and then get a tour for everybody as long as there's enough daylight. Otherwise I'll have to do it tomorrow. So I'll see you again in another second. He doesn't know I'm recording him. He probably actually thinks I'm doing a video of myself at the moment. But there's Shock Daddy through the blurred window. Get it all cleaned. We'll see what happens. Alright, so it is extra sunny out right now, so I'm not sure how well this will turn out. But here is Big Red all clean. Around. Nice Nissan logo. I can't even see what's on the screen, so I apologize. Let's go inside. So I'm actually going to show you guys the back end first, because honestly that's what most families are interested in. Okay, turn the angle of my camera here so we can see better. So I slid the door open. Got a nice little step to get up in. It's still winter here, so you can see all of the ice, rock salt, and all that good stuff. It has these carpet mats that run the whole way through, which are nice to protect it, but if you can tell, man, they shift a lot. We are constantly moving this thing back into place. Each row has 3 seats, and then the back row actually has 4, which I'll show you guys all that in a minute. Underneath the seat, there are these. This is actually the heat vents. It's a little weird, in my opinion, but they're effective. Okay, so when it comes to getting kids in and out, obviously we put the baby closest to the door so it's easy to hoist his carrier, and then we've got one of the bigger little kids next to him in a booster. And then somebody does climb in and sit over there. One thing I noticed when we got this is something that you might also love. Every seatbelt fastener is by itself. No 2 fasteners are next to each other. You never have to worry about a kid unbuckling somebody else or a car seat. If you've ever experienced a child unbuckling a car seat by accident when trying to buckle or unbuckle themselves, you know what a pain that can be to reinstall the car seat again. So the fact that this has individual buckles that are all by themselves is such a nice feature. Not to mention the headrests right here. All of them come off. I will show you guys that we've taken several of the headrests off to accommodate the car seats that are taller. And then we've just got those set aside, so if we need them put back in, we can. Alright, so as you can see, I'm back here behind this booster now. We took this headrest off because they're angled almost forward, and this hit it. So we just removed that so that the seat could sit there properly. We did the exact same thing with this car seat. Each seat, let's see, there's a little storage space over there. There are cup holders that my kids have been sticking trash in. Right there. So just because it's a large van does not mean it lacks cup holders or anything. So we've got a nice, where am I at here? An anchor. There's another one on that seat, which the seat I'm in is another 2-1 split. So this individual seat here can come out. We could take this double seat out. Same thing in the next row. It's a double seat followed by a single seat. Either of those can be removed to customize the seating as needed. The seat belts are individually attached to the seat, so you don't have to climb under one that hangs across, like some of the older style vans. That's really hard to video in here. Okay, so the back seat is a double. So you get 2 seats of 2. We usually take that seat out so we can put our groceries and everything over there in the stroller, and then 2 of the kids sit over here. They also have their cup holders and all that. There's some of the latches. Again, 2 anchors per row for car seats, anything like that, if you don't want to use the seat belts. You can see the track connector right there to be able to take the seats in and out. So there is the inside from this angle. Let's walk around back. Yes, it does say, my monkeys, my circus. Told my husband if I was going to drive a big van, I was going to have fun with it. Okay, so storage in the back end is not that great. We have a stroller over on that side, our cooler bags, you know, our nice 31 patch job bags, some stuff stored under the seats. Otherwise, when we get groceries and whatnot, as long as we have both back seats in, we pile them as much as we can here, which you can actually fit more than it looks. It's still inconvenient though, because you have to go upward so much. Not to mention, let's see if I can get this angle here, that back seat leans back, so the space gets more narrow towards the top. I guess this might actually be a better angle with the stroller to show. Plenty of room for the wheels down there, and the top is just fitting in. Let's go up front now and I'll show you everything up there. Before I climb in, here's the view from the outside. There's a nice step there and a handle up on the side that I use because this is a bit to hoist yourself up into. The driver's seat is mechanical. The passenger side is manual. I think that's pretty standard on a lot of vehicles though. And you will not believe this, I just discovered a storage drawer I did not know existed until this moment. You guys are learning my van with me. Check that out. Apparently I don't look under my seat too often. Alright, let's get in. I will show you everything from the inside. Just excuse the trash, please. All right, we are sitting in my van now. I didn't bring the keys out to start it, which, you know what, it's okay. Because honestly, all the keys are going to show you is the screen navigation system. It's got a rear view, backup camera, Sirius XM radio. I want to say it came with 3 months, and then we've paid for it from there. You can usually get a pretty good deal if you call and tell them you want to cancel because you don't feel like paying the full price. So we pay about an average of $5 a month for it. Now, let's go to this console really quick. This little table slides forward to create more of a workstation. Slide that back. It opens up to reveal a little tray and a really deep storage space. The sales guy said that this is built to fit a full-size laptop. In here you've got one of the standard lighter charger plugs, but we also have right here a regular plug. So if you don't have the car charger adapter end, you can just use like your regular car charger for your phone or whatever you're using. So it's really nice. So we keep Kleenexes, first aid kit, hand warmers, and peppermint candies to settle stomachs on my long drives. Oops, forgot to put the tray back in. All right, let's go down here where I have more messes. Seat warmers. It exists on both sides, which is awesome. USB jack comes in handy. This little button that turns off the sonar because when you get too close to something, this thing beeps like crazy. However, if it's raining or snow slides in front of the sensors, it beeps like crazy. So when the weather's bad, we actually turn it off because otherwise you will hear nothing but a beeping tone and it will drive you insane. Dual climate control. You can have it set so just one or each side can control individually. I think that's standard on a lot of things. Little storage cubby. What all do we got here? Okay, so we've got our cruise. Our Bluetooth access from the steering wheel along with radio and all that good stuff. I'm going to come up here. This is the back controls. It's not digital like the front. It's just pretty standard. I mean, you get cold, around to hot, fan power. That's pretty much it. The sunglass holder, I never put them in because I keep them in the hard case down below. One complaint I had about this. So you see this massive visor. They didn't come with vanity mirrors. It's the little things you don't realize you're missing until you don't have it. Another thing about this van is manual headlights. I got so used to automatic that it took me a while to remember to turn on my headlights. Standard glove box with a bag in it apparently. Let's see, what else was there? Heated seats, the console table, everything digital. We have a ton of crap shoved up here, but there are 4 cup holders up front, not to mention an entire storage space down here that my husband keeps his Bible in, as well as a chamois if we need it for anything. And we always keep plastic bags in here, whether it be for trash or for sick kids. I got a couple CDs sitting there. We always keep our hand sanitizer close by. That's one of the fun things of having an immune deficiency. You keep it everywhere. Standard everything else. This was the other thing. The hazards. Instead of the standard little button or knob up on the top of the steering wheel, it is a push button over on the passenger side. We realized that's where it was the time our oldest accidentally turned it on, and we had to figure out how it got turned on and how to turn it off. So there's my tour of our Nissan NV van. I hope I showed you guys everything you needed to see. I guess I didn't show the air vents there. Each row of lights is a pop light. So you just push on it, turns on and off, as well as a little switch control in the middle to keep kids from being able to do that. Past that, if I missed anything, let me know. I'll come back and I'll show you. As for a review of it, it took a while to learn how to drive this thing. It's huge. I drove a Suburban before this, which is big in itself, but honestly, it was nothing compared to this. As for how much we like it, we have really tall kids. We don't have any problems with leg room in here. That was actually one of the tests when we were test driving it, was I climbed into the back and sat, and if I could sit comfortably, our kids would be fine. Not only do I have long legs too, I'm not exactly tiny. So we have that. The backup camera, if it didn't have that, I wouldn't be able to drive this thing. Honestly, it saves the day most of the time. I do usually park out at the end of parking lots because it is so big. Pulling in and out of places can be a little tricky, especially if somebody else comes along and parks too close to you. It drives nice. The heaters work pretty well. I will say we've had some issues with the back, but it's such a large space, and with kids getting in and out, they don't always remember that it takes a while to heat back up if you open that giant door on the side. Which, there, and you can see the size of the door from inside. We did have the side windows up front tinted after we got it. That was my husband's doing. He really wanted it done. I said whatever. The back windows all came tinted. It took a little getting used to because the tint is not the same as factory tint. It's a little mirrored on the inside. That does bother me because I see the reflection of the dash lights at night. But again, I've gotten kind of used to it at this point. Made it really tricky to drive it at first when I was still learning to drive it to begin with. Past that, we like it. Honestly, I would pick to drive this over a lot of my other options most of the time. Gas mileage. That's a question we get asked quite frequently. We were told 18 to 20, which sounds really amazing. We thought that's what it was actually getting. One trick with the Nissan is it does not have the average miles per gallon, like a lot of other vehicles. It's got every other sensor, average, and everything else but that. And I question if it's for a reason. We finally did the math after filling up with gas several times and realized, no, we're getting closer to 12. We don't drive it a ton, thankfully. We're still under 10,000 miles, which is so weird to say. I've never had a vehicle with that low. But it doesn't get the best. It's not your really good gas mileage or anything, but it's a beast. I mean, really, what do you expect from something this size? It could be worse. Thank God it's not. And after the gas mileage, honestly, people are just curious usually about what it looks like on the inside. We have the leather seats, if you didn't notice. There's a lot of different packages. The dealership here only orders in this package. It is a 3500, means it's got full towing capacity and everything. I don't know if we'll ever use that feature, but it's nice knowing we have it. And we got a better deal buying it off the lot anyhow because it was last year's model. And it was the last one, so they wanted to get rid of it. I recommend shopping around when you are buying a vehicle. You know, don't just fixate on one thing. Make sure you test drive them and look at all of the features and everything. We were also looking at the Ford Transits, which, as somebody else pointed out to me, you can get them with the higher headroom. Where's my hand here? I mean, this has pretty good head clearance, in my opinion. But the Ford Transit you can get, I guess, easier with the where you can stand up in it. I don't need anything that tall. This is too tall already. Oh, really quick, I gotta go back and point out the headrests. That is one issue it took me a little while to get used to too. They're great for safety. I guess studies have shown that with the headrest, you're less likely to suffer a neck injury in case of an accident. But it completely blocks that back window back there. There's such a limited amount of space to see through, which is why that backup camera is so crucial. But going back to the Ford Transit. So anyhow, we had looked at those two. They're a lot more narrow feeling. We didn't actually end up test driving one. We were about to until we found out it was a unibody, which doesn't bother some people. And my husband is very against it, and I'm honestly not a fan of them either, because in the case of an accident, you're more likely to completely total the vehicle than one that has more parts and pieces, I guess. I don't know. That's his deal. So, I don't know. There you have it. Big van, big family. We just take everything in stride. And yeah, let me know if you want to see anything else I didn't show. If you have any other questions, the review, I don't know what else to say as far as reviewing it. I love my van. It's so pretty. I've never owned anything this new, so of course I think it's so pretty. We did put the stickers on the back. We have custom license plate too, but you know, I'm not going to show that right now. The paint and everything seems to be holding up great. Coming April, it'll be a year that we've had this. I was told recently that Nissan, while they've got an amazing paint system, I guess, at their factory, they don't have the strongest clear coat. So if you live somewhere more north like we do, where you have a lot of rock salt exposure or brine or anything that they put on the roads for ice, you have to wash it more frequently because it will eat through that clear coat. And of course, I just learned that recently after we've spent half the winter with stuff caked on our van. Hence the reason he got a bath yesterday. So, there you go. Ask questions. Let me know if you like this. Maybe I'll review some other stuff, show you what else we do to make our family fit. And yeah, so I'll see you guys later.